Watch your step, that's not a threat, no. My heart is a house of cards. They had those shaky hands, they let me fall apart. And I know it shows, yeah. You keep me on my toes, yeah. Just one more song, yeah, yeah. Play it till I'm gone. When I start sinking, all my demons start creeping in. When I start breaking, will you be waiting? Pick me up and put me back together again. You see what I see? Yeah, you could save me. Got me out of my mind, tongue-tied, hypnotized, but it feels alright. Just scared 'cause I want you. You brought me back to life. Now I'm terrified, and I know it shows, yeah. You keep me on my toes, yeah. Just one more song, yeah, yeah. Play it till I'm gone. When I start sinking, all my demons start creeping in. When I start breaking, will you be waiting? Pick me up and put me back together again. You see what I see? Yeah, you could save me. You could save me. Save me. I met you in the morning, summertime. The skies were warm and golden, mid-July. I dove into the blue in your eyes. I'm holding on to you, yeah. All of the nights in my room were lonely, and all that I wanted was you to hold me. I lay here and talk to the moon. She told me I should never let you go. Close your eyes, stay the night. I keep falling by your side. Watch the tides hold me, darling. All that I wanted was you. I know that you're feeling it too. Close your eyes, stay the night. Hold me, darling. Hold me, darling. Hold me, darling. You took me to the ocean, 2 a.m. The air was cool and golden in the end. I'll hold on to the sweatshirt that you left. I'm holding on to you, yeah. All of the nights in my room were lonely, and all that I wanted was you to hold me. I lay here and talk to the moon. She told me I should never let you go. Close your eyes, stay the night. I keep falling by your side. Watch the tides hold me, darling. All that I wanted was you. I know that you're feeling it too. Close your eyes, stay the night. Hold me, darling. Hold me, darling. Hold me, darling. Close your eyes, stay the night. I keep falling by your side. Watch the tides hold me, darling. All that I wanted was you. I know that you're feeling it too. Close your eyes, stay the night. Hold me, darling.
I woke up right side of the bed, I got good views on my brain. Sun shining on my face, birds singing out my name. Got rhythm in this soul, I'm kick drum on the beat. This world's so colorful like a purple tangerine. Can't bring me down, can't bring me down, no, not today. Can't bring me down, everything's going my way. Yeah, it feels too good, like a picture perfect day. So bright, so righteous, hug your mama, wanna say, praise the Lord, hallelujah, feel that electricity. So no matter what happens, I'm gonna be happy. Up here on top of the world, you see everything. Daytime, a color swirl, not like a diamond ring. I got feelings in these bones, they know a trick or two. So put down your little phone, I'm calling out to you. Can't bring me down, can't bring me down, no, not today. Can't bring me down, everything's going my way. Yeah, it feels too good, like a picture perfect day. So bright, so righteous, hug your mama, wanna say, praise the Lord, hallelujah, feel that electricity. So no matter what happens, I'm gonna be happy. Long as I got breath in my lungs, when the day is done, I'm gonna be happy. Long as I got breath in my lungs, when the day is done, I'm gonna be happy. Long as I got breath in my lungs, when the day is done, I'm gonna be happy. Long as I got breath in my lungs, I'm happy. Feels too good, like a picture perfect day. So bright, so righteous, hug your mama, wanna say, praise the Lord, hallelujah. Feel that electricity. So no matter what happens, I'm gonna be happy. Long as I got breath in my lungs, when the day is done, I'm gonna be happy. Long as I got breath in my lungs.
you hold me close, tell me that you can read my mind. How do you get to know how I feel inside? 'Cause I didn't take you there. Oh baby, get out my head, get out my head. Take me away, take me away. Don't wanna see you fade out. Take me away, take me away. Don't wanna hear it out loud. 'Cause you keep us undercover, out of sight. And it's true, no one can discover all your lies, all your lies. Take me away, take me away. Don't wanna see you fade out. Take me away, take me away. Don't wanna hear it out loud. Take me away, take me away. Don't wanna see you fade out. Take me away, take me away. Don't wanna hear it out loud.
My heart stop beating like it used to. Used to be so numb, but now I'm next to you. You got me feeling some type of way. Was never alone, but always felt so lonely. Was surrounded by, but I was so lonely. But when I met you, my heart turned from stone to gold. And when I'm with you, this feeling I can't control. I never don't wanna lose this feeling. I'd do anything tonight to lose you. Can't do anything, can't do anything. Baby, I'd do anything for you.
What's going on, Inner Circle? Priya. What's up, Alexis? Always good to see you guys. Jackie and Chef and Robert Newman. What's happening today, man? Nicole, already a glass of wine. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. Hopefully it's a different part of the country, but you know, it's noon someplace. It's great. What's up, Mark Miller? One of my dearest friends' name was Mark Miller many, many years ago. Good to see you, Andrea and Paula. Okay, so happy to have you here today. Today we're doing a special training on relationships. Now, I want to pre-frame a few things. First off, I'm not pretending. Is there still cheers going on or something? I still hear something loud. There's like noise going on of cheers in here. You might want to come out, Mike, and check it. All right, there we go. It's off. All right, you can tell we're live. Today, I want to share. We do this every February, and I'm going to give you a story here in a second because my wife was supposed to be here with me, which she has been every year for about 5 years. And we do February about relationships, not as relationship experts, just sharing real life strategies that we've been able to use to really make an impact. I won't say that I've always been perfect, but we have a pretty amazing relationship, but that relationship carries more than just an intimate relationship. That's partnership, that's parenting, that's friends, correct? How important, on a scale of 1 to 10, put it in the chat, how important are good relationships in our lives, right? I think at the end of our lives, it'll be in the top 2 or 3, don't you think? If you had money without relationships, is it worth it, right? If you're in great health without relationships and connection, is it worth it, right? So, of course, number 1, right, 10 out of 10, I get it. So that's our goal today. So I have a great training lined up for you guys, but I got to tell you a little story. You want to talk about real life? Let's talk about real life for a second, real relationships. So my wife and I spent almost 3 years building our dream house, and I feel blessed. We've been in it for about 4 months. And miscellaneous stuff, I guess those of you who have built a new house before, maybe you never had, it's kind of my first one. Lots of little things went off, it happened. But last night, at 11 o'clock at night, or 11:30 at night, we heard this bang. And in fact, I have a video. I want to show you this. This is real life. This is Inner Circle. First, before we play that, I want to share something. If you're new to Inner Circle, I've been doing this for over 10 years. You guys are like family to me. I say this, it all came from Inner Circle. When I hang out with you guys once a month, I feel like we're at a coffee shop and we're all just hanging out and I'm sharing my best practices that I learned over the month. The biggest breakthrough, the biggest thing moving the needle in my life. If it's mindset, if it's momentum, if it's marketing, if it's mastery. And I love this group of humans so much. I feel so comfortable with you all. So I'm going to take just 5 minutes and show you real life stuff that happens in life. And this is great on a relationship day. Play that video and then I'll explain. This was almost midnight last night after I heard a bang. House. Now, I'm not saying, not poor me, but I've always wanted a sauna in my house, right? So that cheers is still on in here, guys. I don't know what it is, but it's still on. Okay. We have a sauna, and it hasn't been working. So they came over yesterday, and they worked on it. Well, here's the crazy part. They left it on, and there was a fire sprinkler that was wrongly mounted inside the sauna room from the original design. So, Melissa, I see your face. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So it heated up because they left it on. It got so hot, it popped it. And I've never seen a fire sprinkler come out. It comes out like a more than a garden hose, like a fire hose. By the time I got downstairs, there was already 4 inches of water in my entire basement, right? And this is 11:30 at night. And if you could have seen me, we're talking real life stuff. We all have real life, right? I'm on about an hour of sleep right now. So is my wife. So that's why she's not here today. She's cleaning up the house. She's got people over trying to fix it. So that's the real life story of why she's not here. And she was still going to come. I'm like, no, you come next month. So come back next month. You get to see my wife. She's an amazing human being. But the worst part is I don't know how to shut it off because we just moved in and I didn't know where the main water valve is. So I'm running around the house. If you could have seen, if there was a video, I'm running around trying to find, I finally shut it off after there was like this much water in our basement. And my wife and I stayed up all night pushing all the water out. We got somebody to come in. Anyway, life happens to all of us. I'm not complaining. I'm blessed that I'm able to live in that house. So if I seem a little tired, I'm trying not to be. That's why, and that's the only reason my wife's not here. So with all that said, I'm in a great space. I'm hanging out with my people. It's Inner Circle February, folks. And I can't wait to share some of the things that I've just learned along the way. You know, I have to say, I've learned so much from my dear brother and friend, Tony Robbins. He's not someone who just talks about relationships. He lives it and breathes it. His wife, Sage, and him have something spectacular. But besides that, him and I have a spectacular friendship and partnership. We have each other's backs. We don't keep score. We've been supporting each other for a decade and a half unconditionally. We've really never had like an outing or a bad time. If there's something that comes up, we talk about it. So what I like to do every February is just look back and reflect over the last year. What has allowed my relationships to grow in all different areas of my life? How have those relationships catapulted my relationship, catapulted my life? Where have I screwed up? Guilty, still mess up sometimes. I do with my wife especially because I'm a workaholic still and I don't know how to control that one because I love what I do. So today, it's just an open conversation about real life stuff in business, marriage, parenting, ambition, and how to build success without losing yourself, without losing some of the relationships. And I guess today would be about alignment, about communication, about staying connected even when life gets busy. And life gets busy, especially now with all the changes that are going on in the world. Yeah, Evelyn, thank you. We have the mold, she said, watch out, we have a mold remediation company there today. They're pulling off baseboard. It's fun. You've been there. If anybody else has been there, you get it. So but today's about relationships. We're going to leave the flood in the basement behind us. And then at the end of our session today, I'm going to share something with you I'm really excited about. Anybody ever read this book, Millionaire Success Habits? Anyway, it's my favorite book I've done over. Thank you, Matthew. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Andrea, Sarah, everybody. It's 10 years old. I can't believe it's 10 years old. Over 1 million copies sold of this one. I'm really excited. I just went through it again in the last 6 months. Damn, it's still really good. It's still, I read it. My first New York Times bestseller from 20 years ago, I can't read it. I read it and I'm so cringe. I'm like, please, I don't even want anybody to go buy it anymore. Because it's like, you know, we grow. We want to be a better version of us. But this one is still solid principles and we've been working on something really fun. I can't wait to share that with you at our 10-year anniversary. But let's jump right in. You know, can we win in business and then lose at home or lose with our relationships or lose even with our health, right? And so building a business, and this was really personal. This one, okay, I wrote all these notes. I got notes all over the place here. These were for my wife and I to talk about because we deal with it. And I wanted to set my wife up because she is the freaking best that, like, I wouldn't be the man I am without her. Again, I wish she was here, and we'll get her here next week. So this a lot was designed picturing my wife with me today. But building a business while staying connected at home is harder than anybody realizes. Or even trying something new. Tracy, I see you shaking your head, right? When you find a routine in your life, you find a routine in your business, all of a sudden you just get used to the routine, right? Even if you're not completely happy with that routine. And then all of a sudden, one of you gets a little crazy and says, I need to live into who I'm meant to be. I'm not settling anymore. I'm doing something different. I'm going to tap into who I'm meant to be. I'm going to take some uncomfortable action. And what happens is, without realizing, and I'm guilty of this, is relationships don't fail or start to shift because of lack of love. Sometimes they break or shift due to a lack of alignment. And alignment, when you're so crystal clear, who is on this, if you're a part of our family, who's crystal clear on the man or the woman you want to be in a year from now? Raise your hand if you're crystal clear on who you want to be, who you want to serve, who you want to impact, unlocking your full potential, right? And then if I was really honest and I said, who in here, if I grabbed your significant other or the person you spend the most time with and you didn't say anything, I took them in a separate room and I said, tell me what Adriana's purpose is over the next year. What is are you aligned with her? What's her goals? What's her outcomes? Who in here feels their significant other would be able to nail it? Who feels they might not know exactly all you're dreaming and thinking of? Raise your hand if that's true, right? And I'm guilty of it. So it's easy for me to talk about this. I move so damn quick because I'm chasing the next level of my life that I forget to kind of bring people with me. Now, I try not to do that more than ever with my wife, but I still do it sometimes. So here's some questions to ask. Before chasing that next level, when you have the idea, ask yourself this: are we aligned on where we're going? And not all of you are in an intimate relationship. I get that. But if my wife's here, that's what I'll be talking about. We'll get to business relationships, personal relationships, all that stuff in a moment. And alignment, if you say, are we aligned? It might say, hey, I want to make sure we're aligned. That means, are we aligned on our values? Are we aligned on the vision of where we want to go? This is where I want to be. This is how I live into my full potential. This is how it collectively comes as a family. And then do we have shared expectations, shared gratitude, shared desire, shared goals, right? And it's not always going to align. Listen, my wife sometimes says to me, watching the way you work, Dean, I'd be happy living in a farm in the middle of nowhere and just spend the rest of my life with you chilling, you're watching you not work so much. And I'm always like, but I love what I do, babe. I'd be on the farm for 2 weeks and you'd be like, please go back to work. You're too much maintenance, right? We joke sometimes, but sometimes I'm on to the next thing, and my wife's like, weren't you just doing this thing? What? And her gut is like, hey, is this going to take away from fail? But when we sit down, I said no, and we get these shared expectations, these shared outcomes, then I get from my wife, I'm proud of you. But if I don't spend that time, I don't really get that. If she sees me just going and working and missing dance recital and missing a date night one in a week, she might go, babe, what's going on? But if she knows, hey, it's only a short period of time, it's 3 weeks because Tony and I launched the AI Advantage Company. Oh my God, I had 90 days of zero sleep. But when I explained what those 90 days were going to be before we launched, she's like, go get them, Tiger. I got the kids. I'll take them to dance recital. We'll do date night every other week just for these 3 months. But after 3 months, don't you dare miss a week. And it was only because we were aligned. And I have to tell you, and I'm going to be completely honest, if I didn't take the time, and sometimes I'm so busy, I kind of think she gets it, I screw it up still. So we have to be incredibly intentional. Is this making sense? Raise your hand if this is landing. It might be too personal to me, but I want everybody to feel this because, listen, when you push for another level, the people around you, as Trent Shelton said, they don't have your vision. They don't have your prescription on where you want to go. True? Even though they love you, they care about you. They would die for you in some cases. But if they don't have your vision, they might not be able to see what you see. And therefore, you don't have identical dreams. And that's okay. You should have different dreams, different goals, but a shared direction, a shared outcome, and how you could do it walking alongside of each other. I'm going to be really honest here, and I would be with my wife here too, but I went through a divorce, and I'm not an advocate of divorce, and I'm sure I was more at fault. I've been a crazy entrepreneur running away from living in a trailer park, running away from watching my parents struggle financially, running away from getting evicted from the trailer we lived in and have to move in with grandma and all that stuff. I ran so hard from that when I got traction, I just used to think, hey, this relationship's not working out because you can't keep up with me. I look back and I'm embarrassed of that way of thinking. I didn't share my visions. I didn't share alignment. I didn't help others see the path that I was on. And if I would have known that, things would have been different the way I handle things. I wouldn't change the world because I love the relationship and you know, you either follow patterns that work or follow patterns that don't, right? True? If things weren't working in your relationship, you could just look back and see the patterns that got you there and say, hey, when I act this way, do this thing and do that, it doesn't work out. How about I shift that? And then once you talk about alignment, okay, so let's talk about alignment for a second. Once you talk about alignment, then you can't just talk about it once. You got to revisit it. Maybe you put it on the calendar once a month. Say, hey, I want to make sure we're aligned on where we're going. I want to make sure you're aligned. Why are you doing this class? Why are you working with Mastermind? Why are you doing this thing with AI? Why do you go to these inner circles? Hey, I want to tell you what my vision is. I want to tell you where I'd love to be. And a year from that was the greatest year of my life. This is where I'd like to be, but I want to do it together. And you want to share that on a regular basis. Make sense? And then you could, maybe talk about what kind of life are we building with this shared vision? What season are we in right now? That's a really good question. Tony always talks about the seasons. I love it. He does it in so many different frames with different context. But sometimes you're in prepping phase, right? That's like if you take it like a farmer, if you're in prepping phase, you have a dream of, let's say you have a dream of $250,000 a year impacting others by sharing what you know. I'm just making this up, right? And that's a big dream, and you align with your spouse on that dream. But they see you, and it's like the farmer who's just cutting down the trees and plowing up the dirt, right, Melissa? They're like, well, wait, I thought you were going here. It's like, no, but before I plant, before it grows, and before I could harvest, I want to tell you, I'm going to go through a rough time of cutting down the trees and planting. It's a lot of work, and we might not see something at first. Like, oh, that's the season you're in. And then all of a sudden, you're online, you got your course, your coaching done, you're moving, you got your first sale. They're like, hey, where's the 250 grand a year? Say, hey, the fruit just got ripe. It's finally here. Give me a minute. It's not even harvest season yet. Give me a minute, right? Think how silly this conversation is, but how much it would solve. Right? Think how much it would solve, because if you're saying this is where we're going to be and your spouse is not aligned, like, why aren't you there? Why aren't you there? Why aren't you there? And then all of a sudden you get resentment, like, I'm working, I'm trying, I'm overcoming my own obstacles. It's like, I got shit from my past. I have imposter syndrome. I'm trying to break through it. So if they know what season you're in, that means when you get to harvest season, when the fruit is ripe and you're out there picking, when the business is working, when the money's coming in and the impact's happening, they're like, oh, they'll respect you even more for the different seasons you had to go through. You got to get the prep, you got to get it ready, you got to plant, you got to take care of it, you got to water it, you got to weed it, and then all of a sudden, the outcome. So seasons changed, and alignment must evolve with it, so everybody's on the same page. Now, this is the one I talked about earlier, and I just made a note of this, so I want to go into it again. Have you ever felt, and it could be on both sides, but have you ever been in any relationship, not even an intimate relationship, who's been in a relationship in their life where they feel like because of the path you chose, you're growing faster than they are? Or maybe you felt they were a little stuck. I know it, and I know I've said it out loud in the past. And sometimes when you're growing, you're like, would you please read this Tony Robbins book? Would you please read this? Would you join me on an inner circle? I'm not crazy. I'm growing. I'm working on the human condition while I'm working on my business. Like, nah, I don't want to do that. Let's just say it like it is. Uneven growth creates tension. It does. I'd love to wave a magic wand. There are some people that don't, but uneven growth does. And if one business scale, maybe one income grows, maybe even one of your visions expand bigger, resentment can grow. Sometimes it's scary. Now, I'm going to be really honest. At Mastermind, we're about 60% women as a company of who we've been serving for the last 8 years. And I think you guys see, we have tens of thousands of success stories. It's the greatest, this is what I get to do for a living, help people achieve. And out of that, 60% of that, sometimes 65%, is women having the success. And when we have groups here, we get to do a group like every month in the office, and I get to meet great people. I meet them in a Zoom, and I want to do some hot seats today. So if you got questions or shares about relationships, let's have some fun today. But a lot of times, when I get the chance to talk to a student who's a woman, who's doing really well, that's the first thing she'll say to me is like, my husband thought it was a hobby, then he thought I was just being a dreamer, and now I'm doing better than him, and it's weird. And I don't have, Dana, you're laughing, right? And I don't even know if I have the right answer, because maybe it would bug me, right? But I do know this, if you go upstream and share the vision, this collective growth, like, here's what I know. I could never be the man I am today without my wife along my side. I tell everybody, it's not even a question. Because of her support, because of the way she takes care of our family, because the way she loves me, I get to be the best version of me, right? So sometimes it's hard to see that, but if it is, I'm going to tell you right now, squash it, get aligned. Don't let the support be tied to income or outcomes. Let the support just be created based on goals, desires, and dreams. And you know, roles can differ, impact can differ, income can differ, but respect cannot. And I think if we're aligned, so if I go to this next piece, God, I had this all planned to just hit my wife up with all these questions on this one. So this is a two-man thing I did, and I'm trying to condense it into one. So if you see me hesitate for a second, it's because I'm trying to pick up the parts I was going to ask her because she's so damn good at it. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate you. I see it. Alignment, I think, can grow into respect for each other because you get it. Because if one partner feels maybe their work is less important, distance can begin. So the other thing I'll tell you, and I had to work on this one. This is the one this is the one I was going to hit with my wife. Can I tell you what I did without realizing it? When I met my wife, she was the #1 hairstylist in Arizona, voted 8 out of 10 years best hairstylist, and had an amazing booming business. She did hair extensions. I never knew what hair extensions. Dana, I see it. Thank you for the support of my lovely wife. I didn't even know what hair extensions were until I met her and I watched her clientele and how much money she was making. It was like, oh my God. And we get together and I have so much respect for the business she built and the respect she gets, and you know, and we date for a while, we get engaged, we get married, we have babies. And I'm like, babe, you love being a mom. And it goes so quick because I have older ones. I'm like, I know you love being a boss babe and running this business and impacting others, but I see how much you love being a mom. If you want to not just be a mom, I could never do what you moms do. I'm just raising my hand, not even close. I'd rather start 5 more businesses than to do how you guys handle everything. When I'm home, sometimes working from home, like I got to get to the office and I hope shit's going wrong at the office because I can handle that better than all the chaos going on, right? So please don't I'm not saying it's less. I just said you love being a mom and it goes so quick. Why don't you take 5 years? I work hard and be able to do that. And I didn't recognize the part where it felt like she was letting go of a certain part of her. I didn't recognize that. And if she was here today, I'd apologize to her for that. And then I come home and I'm like, oh my God, Tony and I decided to do this thing. We bought this thing. We launched this thing. We impact lives. Oh my God, I met this woman at the mall and she said she was about to do this and now she's making $100,000 a month and her life has changed. Yes. And she's like, I did this. And I'd be like, oh, that's so cool, babe. And I'd go back to what I was talking about. I didn't realize it. She didn't say a word. One day I did. I'm like, holy crap, this is something I talk about and I'm doing it to my wife. She gave up her business for our family with love. And then my life is so freaking big, right? We have 13 different companies and all this stuff going on. I didn't give enough. So I'm telling you, sometimes the guys, maybe you guys can hear me right now. I know how hard you work. We all work. Women too. We put the time in. And sometimes we don't realize that we might be diminishing or make it less important of what our significant other does. And maybe I'm just here wanting to say guilty. And I don't do that anymore. And I don't come home and just say, hey, how was the day? Great, kids good? I come home because her role is way more important than mine. She's raising our children. She's taking care of our family. You know, she makes it so when I come home, there's nothing I need to do except be a dad. I mean, that is the most important thing in the world. And so I want to share something with you. Honor what lights up your partner. Honor what lights up. This could be a business partner. It could be the closest relationship in your life or an intimate partner. And sometimes, over time, we get a little dull. Maybe I'm just talking about me. But we get a little dull and we forget the thing that you loved lighting them up about when you first got into a relationship. You loved bringing it up. You loved sharing about it. And now, sometimes we can say, hey, why isn't that done? Or how come we didn't get this? Or weren't we supposed to have that? And we forget that we could say those things in between lighting up your partner for the things that actually lights them up. And if it's different than what lights you up, even better, because then maybe you could see through their lens on why it's so important to them. You know, if you ever saw all those studies on what kills, I know I'm going deep on intimate relationships, but my wife was supposed to be here today. And so if it was just me, I would have been half business, half personal. So I hope you can take this, in those of you not in an intimate relationship or you got everything dialed in, you take this into other relationships. Still working for everybody? Awesome. So did you ever see all the studies of the doctors and the psychologists who can predict who's not going to make it in a relationship? Does anybody know what the number one thing that psychologists and therapists say that they can predict the relationship's going to end over? Yeah, you guys are over money, even over someone being unfaithful. It's resentment, right? Criticism, exactly. Yep. Contempt. It's like, you always do that. Why would you say that? It's this built resentment that you don't even see coming. Because resentment doesn't build overnight. This is something, I am not sharing as a relationship expert. I'm sharing this as someone who's made these mistakes, and I'm smart enough that I recognize the patterns and I shifted it. I truly do love my wife. I truly have a great, wonderful relationship with her. She's my favorite human. But it's because I had to shift my patterns. I had to look the man in the mirror and say, why haven't your relationships been to the level they could be up until this point? And I became a better version of me so I could attract a better partner. And it's only because I'm in this industry, it's only because I'm partners with Tony Robbins that I was able to see it. If not, I probably would have stayed in the same repetitive nature. Can I be really honest? When I say my parents were married 9 times, it's not an exaggeration. My mom was married 5 times, my dad 4 times. Neither one of them recognized the patterns that they brought to the next relationship that made the next relationship end the way the prior ones did. And maybe between seeing my parents bring the same patterns over and over and being partners with Tony and working on this every day of my life and doing things like this every day of my life, I was lucky enough to look in the mirror and go, shake some things up, shift. If you want the outcome of love, connection, trust, respect, then you got to be a better version of you. So that I'm talking through the lens of a transformation. Does that make sense? What do we teach you guys? How do we help people? We're just a chapter ahead. Some of you are 3 chapters ahead of me in relationships. I would love to interview you. I mean that with all my heart. Some of you are 3 chapters behind. Some of us were par. I'm just sharing. So some of you, it's a reminder. Some of you are like, hell yeah, I'm in the same place. And some of you are like, shit, I forgot to do that. Or this is a good reminder, right? Thank you for all these beautiful comments. But resentment builds quietly. Unspoken expectations, assumed responsibilities. I thought you were going to do that. Why didn't you? I mean, that's on you. You should be doing that. Right? Silent scorekeeping. Man, I do all this. I pay the bills and they don't. Or while you're out working, I have 3 kids at home plus juggling a job and you don't. And that slow scorekeeping starts to create the sleeping on the opposite sides of the bed. You know, when their foot used to touch you in the middle of the night, you'd be excited. Now you're like, why'd they do that? Like you don't even see these things coming. And here's what I'd say. If it's there in any of your relationship, man, today's the day to communicate. Today's the day. Today's the day to over-communicate. To say, I don't know how we got here, but today's the day we're going to kill scorekeeping because it kills intimacy. We're going to kill comparing each other because it kills our connection in this business, right? You did this, I did that, you didn't do that, I always, you never. I know, it's just like, seems like part of an evolution, but you could stop it today. I'm going to make sure I stop it if it I try never to do it, but if it does, I want to catch myself and say, whoa. Because the moment scorekeeping starts, the dynamic of the partnership starts to degrade. Business, your children, your cousin, your sister, your intimate second person in your life, right? What if, for the next 30 days, you just gave without calculating your return? What if you felt good just doing? Because I know we get in points like, I'll start doing that She kisses me first, or he hugs me first. What if you just treated your significant other the way you want to be treated? Unconditionally. Let's say 30 days. Unconditionally. Even if you're frustrated right now, even if you know they haven't been doing the right thing, what if you just did it? Because there's this weird thing that happens when you do that. The other person can't help but to see it. And they either mirror you or they go, what the hell's up? Right? It's one of those. It's either like, this is amazing, I need to do this back. Or, hey, what's going on? Why are you so nice to me? Am I dying or something, right? It's like, either way, it starts the communication. And you could say, we've been keeping score for too long. We've probably built some subtle resentment. I'm done with it. I like being me and I love who you are. Let's get aligned. Let's get connected. Let's crush the resentment. Let's talk more. Let's plan Mondays at 2 o'clock, Mondays at 7. That we're going to talk about our week. We're going to talk about our aligned mission. However it works for you, connection's worth it. You know, I didn't expect today to go the way it was. I was expecting to be here with my wife. And I expect to share some of the things I shared. But when I look back, I don't think I really thought love could happen up until about 15, maybe 10 years ago. Watching your parents get married 9 times and just leave and like no big deal. It's like, love can't be real. It's temporary. I think that was living inside of me deep down. So when things got tough, I was like, well, I'll just pull the chute. I'll go. If it's not good, I'll go. Like, and I got to tell you, now that it's the complete opposite, like I'm in it till my eyes close. My wife is my everything, and I'm going to do everything in my power for her to love me the way she loves me now. Man, I'm just a different version of me. I don't even know how to explain it. I'm connected. I'm connected to God. I'm connected to my team. I'm connected to you more because I'm connected to one person. And again, some of you aren't in a relationship. So whoever that closest person is to you, you could take that to a whole nother level. Because, you know, if you just talked about it today, you just stop the prolonging. Because can we agree that the longer tension lingers, the deeper the roots grow? Can we agree to that one, right? Who's had a little thing that you let go for so long and it turned into a big thing in your head, right? Thanks, Holly. You had 2 hands up with a clap, right? We've all done it. Guilty. So what if we took a new angle that today we're going to break some norms and then moving forward, we're going to repair stuff quickly. Take ownership, even if it's not your fault, and do it quickly. What if we chose connection over ego? Ooh, that's a big one. I know I had to outgrow that one. Somebody said this to me once. I wrote it down. I got it written on the screen so I wouldn't forget it. Somebody said to me once, maturity is apologizing without getting defensive. And I'm like, what's that mean? And oh my gosh, it's so true. We say, hey, I'm really sorry about that, but you know, you were kind of a jackass. It's like your ego's, Patrick, I see you laughing, right? We all do it. It's like, hey, I'm really sorry I acted that way. But you know, I haven't had dinner when I came home for the last 5 weeks. Like, how about just saying, I'm sorry, I'm part of the problem. Let's work together to be part of the solution, right? So maturity is apologizing without getting defensive. Man, we keep that. I should tattoo that one right here. I'm just thinking about it's like, I'm just sorry, right? Remember this too. Ambition is attractive. Who likes when someone in their life or their significant other is ambitious about whatever goal they want to go after? Who likes that? Raise their hand, right? All of us, don't we? Right? But if we're being ambitious, we have to make sure we're also not neglectful. So we have to be ambitious, hope our significant other is ambitious, but without being neglectful, right? Even if there's check-ins, you know this is the 90-day run before our AI event or before Mastermind event, it's crazy, but you know I love you. I'm going to sneak in. Let's do breakfast this week instead of lunch because I'm so busy, but let's do it. Just check-ins. And I know, if I look at my past, I know I was ambitious and a bit neglectful. And then I thought, I'm so damn ambitious, you should deal with the neglectful thing because I'm supporting our family. We all justify shit. I am the quintessential justifier. Virgie, I see you smiling. Can we all justify? Dana, right? I'm the best. Hey, give me 90 days. I'm changing our lives. I'm changing other people's lives. No. You have no excuse to be neglectful because sometimes it's just a check-in. It's a text. It's a breakfast. It's a hug. It's a thank you. Because if your professional life gets your best energy and your partner or business partner or significant other gets what's left, well, I think you can predict where that end result will be, right? We've all had ambitions and businesses or jobs that probably got the best of us. Isn't that true? Like the best version, the most amount of energy. By the time you get home, you left it all on the table and you're bringing home a second-rate version of you sometimes. Again, when I share all this, it doesn't apply to all of you. But it can in certain ways if you look through the lens, right? I try to talk down the middle. Again, some of you over here, some of you here, some of you right down the middle. And if you understand, like I went to a marriage retreat and you shared something great. If there's something you already figured out, post it. This is your family. If there's something you need to know, post it. I'll try to answer the questions, right? Success at home, I said this earlier, fuels and stabilizes success everywhere. Tony always said, I loved it, success without fulfillment is the greatest failure of them all. And I think relationships are part of what fulfillment means. I got one more for you. And I'm gonna commit to doing that for 30. I'm gonna commit to doing this for 30 days. Because as I wrote this, I realized I'm slacking on this one a little bit. I am. I keep updated. I keep aligned. I make sure we're connected. Make sure not to keep score. But this one, I wrote this one. If my wife was here, I'd be telling her, I'm slacking on this one, babe. I'm going to step it up. What about getting curious again about your significant other? Or again, I'll say business partner too. What about getting curious again? Rather than, yeah, how was your day? Ah, awesome. Glad it was good. But what if your curiosity could help build that connection a little deeper? How would it be? And this is me 101. What if you said, well, what does that mean? Ask deeper questions. Listen longer. This is one I did with my kids. Listen longer without opening up your mouth. Man, I am fast on resolution. Holy crap. If my wife, I come home and she's like, babe, I had this, then I'm like, oh, we got that. We'll have this go over here. We'll do this thing over here. We got that. Yeah, we good? Like, all day I'm solving problems, right? I have 300 employees. I solve shit every waking hour of my life, right? 300 team members, I should say. I don't like saying employees. This is my team. This is my family between the two companies. I come home and I just want to keep solving problems when sometimes you just got to listen a little longer. You got to stay genuinely interested. I got one for you, and I know guys do this worse than girls, so just being honest. When you're in the middle of the conversation and your wife or your significant other's talking to you and you look down at your phone quick. Oh, just turn the thing over. Just turn it over. Dana, you're guilty. I see it all over your face. I see it all over your face. You can't hide it. I see Chris. I see it, right? Marcus, I see it. When that time when you're going to genuinely listen, be genuinely interested, be curious, connect, say maybe, wow, that's awesome. Really? And go deep, turn the phone over or put it in the other room. Cool? How about this? How about if you got a question, raise your hand if you'd like to have a question or share something. I know we've got some in the chat. If the team already has some, just give me a name. But I'd love to share. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I know there's a lot. I don't know if the team's got somebody. Now there's too many people. How about How about Richard Hart? He's right in the center, top. Richard Hart in room 2. Glasses, dressed nice, got a great background. Give it up for Richard Hart, everybody.
Well,
How you doing, Richard?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing
Very
fantastic.
glad to be.
I can hear you just perfect.
Super. Me as well. Love what you're talking about today. Now, I'm not in a relationship right now. I committed to a relationship with myself.
I love
I
it.
had to commit back to me in order for me to then be able to give the best of me to someone else. What I wanted to touch on just quickly about what you had talked about, I wrote in the chat, it was about connection. And connection is, when we don't have connection, we lose one of the most important aspects of the human condition, which is human touch. And we become isolated. And with isolation, that leads to mental health issues and addiction. The opposite of addiction is connection. So not being in a relationship, I find that really struck me. Having to remind myself to stay connected with others when I'm not feeling the best myself, right?
Yeah.
Doing the things that you don't want to do, right? Where the body goes, the mind will follow.
Yeah, Richard, I can tell you've done a lot of work on yourself and just the elegant words that you used. What's cool is I hope I could be a little beacon of a future possibility, if that's
Absolutely.
if that's what I'd love to share, is when I went through a divorce. I'm gonna be really vulnerable here. It tore me. I knew the relationship was over, but I never wanted to do that with my children, because I had been through so many divorces as a child. I felt like I could never do that to my kids. And it was it. The relationship was over, and the thought of only being with my kids half the time, it was the most stressful time in my life. And it was like being out in the open sea. I remember thinking it's like being out in the open sea and you're in the middle of a storm and I can't see the direction of where the calm is. And it was the first time in my life I didn't want to get in an elevator. I didn't want to get on a plane. I was having weird stuff happen in my life. I say that because that evolved into a place where it seems like you are. I went through a divorce and I said, I'm just going to be a great dad. I'm going to replace quantity of time with quality of time. And I'm going to work on me, because I don't want to bring this same guy to the next relationship, or I'll do what my dad did. I'll do what my mom did. It didn't work out, and then they bring the same version. And I spent time just solely working on me. I spent time interviewing people that were married for 42 years and still holding hands. I saw a couple literally walking down the street. I'm like, hey, you don't know who I am, but you're holding hands. How long have you been married? They're like 42 years. Like, oh my God. Do you still? And and I said, could I call and interview you? I just went through this phase of finding these common threads. Plus my partner's Tony Robbins and all these things. But I had that space. And I have to tell you, when I stopped worrying about if I could bring someone in my life that could fulfill me, I'm not saying you're there, I'm telling you me. And I worked on who I was and what the man I needed to become, my wife showed up. And she was everything that I had ever envisioned in my life. And there's no way that woman would have showed up if I didn't do the work. So I love what you're talking about. I love the opposite of addiction is connection. I love that you're saying that. I know you're going through a time with self-realization and growing through the human condition. But most people don't take the time to do that. They jump into the next thing that soothes the heart a little bit, right? Yeah. It's like it didn't work out. Your dog passes away and you buy a puppy that day just to get a feeling of the loss. Those that can sit in it a little bit, it can feel a bit lonely, but I think it's God, the universe, giving you time to heal, reflect, know, because your perfect person is out there. And if you do it right, they're not meant to come find you until you're that version. And I don't know if that helps or helps anybody here.
No, I find that's fantastic. I mean, yeah, I love that. I mean, I'm going through, if I can take a minute or two, I don't know how many people, but
go ahead.
I'm going through a really rough time. Speaking of divorce, I've been divorced for a while, but in the last year, I lost my son because of just things going on in our lives, that he went and moved with his mom. He lived with me full time from 2017 to 2024. and now he's 17. Big void. We didn't speak for almost a year, and now we're only starting to again. And so that was quite a lot of turmoil as I was, trying to build, transition into the knowledge industry. I'm a cancer surgeon. That's what my career is. I left clinical practice a little over 2 years ago to develop into a huge online as well as in-person coaching platform. Looking at it's called Next Gen Surgery, but it's the science of elite performance. It's sort of a lot of the science of what Tony talks about, but using EEG, heart rate variability, all that kind of stuff. It was a hard landing. Like, it wasn't a soft landing, and I sort of hit and tumbled and rolled and rolled and rolled, and it felt like I didn't stop for quite some time. So I'm now just getting into a place of slowly building again. I'm building it on Gigi in the Mastermind Business System. I've spoken about coming to Launch Lab and into the Edge program, and I did AIA, and this past next month again the next course with Tony. So.
Well, Richard, first off, I want to say I'm sorry what you're going through with your son and all the things hit. Sometimes you get tested in threes. I know that in my life. It comes at you. Again, I'm going to share something that might not be relevant with you, but it might be relevant to somebody else. Going through a divorce is ugly. I had 2 children when we were going through it, and it could be. And there was a moment I saw it going in the direction. My parents have been divorced for 53 years, and they still won't talk to each other. So it was dropped off down the street. They won't see each other. Like, when I got married 8 years ago to my wife, Lisa, I had to fly my mom and dad on different planes and put them in different hotels. They're in their 80s. And that example would be something I could follow or something not. And going through a divorce, there was a moment where I thought through this, and I don't know if this will help. And please, I don't know any of your circumstances, but I could tell you're working on you. So it's amazing that you're doing this. But I made a decision one day to replace every emotion I felt while I was going through divorce with compassion. Everything. And it was hard. When I think I deserve more money, and I thought I give twice as much as I should. Compassion. When I want this holiday, I want this thing. This feeling came up, and I found compassion, and then it became a habit. And then I wrote my ex 10 commandments that I would never break for the rest of my life. I said if I ever met somebody, I'd wait a year before I introduce them to the kids. If I have a disagreement on how you parent, I'll talk to you, not the kids. I will never talk bad about you to the kids or any human being alive. I forget what they all were, but I made these 10 commandments, and I gave them to her, and I think at first she was like, yeah, and the more I stuck with them, now I'm happily married. My ex is in an amazing relationship with a great guy. My kids are good. But my wife is so happy that we did that because there's no ugly. But more than that, my kids aren't fragmented and they're not pulled apart. So I don't know the situation, but I just want to tell you that one switch, that one switch changed my whole life. I'm dear friends with my ex. There's no issues. 100 times I could have blown it up. And when I say 100 times I was a millimeter away of saying, no respect, how could you treat me this way? F you. 100 times I was there. So I don't know if anything we shared helps. Richard, I'm glad you're a part of this family.
Absolutely.
And anything we can do to support you, not just with programs. If there's anything, reach out to our customer support. If there's something you're missing, something we can do for you. I want to see you soar. I want to see you. I hope I can talk to you in a year or 6 months. Business is booming. You and your son are tight again. And if there's anything we can do to support you, I mean that. There's nothing more important than family. So if we can help you.
Thanks so very much. Appreciate that.
Everybody, give some love to Richard.
I like the motivation yesterday from your son's tennis.
Oh, thank you.
That was great.
Thank you. Thank you. Give some love to Richard, everybody. Let's go with Dana Stemmen, as long as she doesn't get in trouble because she's driving. She's in room 2. Dana Stemmen. How you doing, Dana?
I'm doing pretty good. I feel very honored that I finally get to have a conversation with you.
Well, I'm glad. Are you driving or passengering?
I am driving.
All right. Well, don't worry. You don't have to look at us. You look straight ahead.
Oh, I'm good. Within short distance to my destination, so
Okay, great.
should be fine.
Okay, so
Yes.
what question do you have? And like I said, you could look ahead, and I'll try to answer to the best of my ability.
I should be okay. I don't know about a question. Your session today kind of made me think a lot about my own situation. About competitive situations and lack of interest from the partner. That's one thing that kind of puzzles me for a while. Because it's true when a person wants to evolve, the other person has no interest on moving forward. It creates a problem, and it's hard to achieve things by yourself without having a partner that appreciates and wants to work with it. It's a very big challenge thing.
No, and Dana, can I tell you, I've been doing this for 30 years next year, and the hardest one is that it's the most common thing I've heard is one partner is inspired to live into their best self, and the other one just doesn't get it. And then when they don't get it, instead of saying, hey, go do your thing, it almost feels negative, like they're looking down upon you for the dreams and goals that you have. I hope you can you still hear me?
Exactly.
Okay, you're
Yes,
frozen.
I
just want to
can.
Yeah, I just want to make sure you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
So
it's mostly like you always have brakes on. You always have something that, like a parachute behind you, that always tries to keep you in place.
So here, no, I get it because I hear it often, and I'm going to just share the best advice I've heard through the years that has worked the best. So it doesn't mean this is perfect. It doesn't mean I have all the answers. It's just sharing what I've learned in 30 years of obsessing on these things. And it really comes down to two things. Don't ask for permission, and don't ask for a cheerleader. Just ask them to allow you to become the version you're meant to be without separating from them. So it's almost like, listen, I don't need you to be my cheerleader. I don't need you to even understand what I'm doing. But I'd really appreciate your trust and respect that I have something I have to go after. And then combine that with spending the next 30 to 60 days, like I shared earlier, of just being the person you wish your partner was. Being extra supportive, asking them about their day. Even when they piss you off, you give back love. You feel love when you give it rather than when you receive it. And the combo of asking, not to understand what I'm doing, not to be my cheerleader, but the respect of knowing that I need to do this for me, to find the best version of me, not to be further from you, to be closer to you, because the better I feel about me, the better I'll feel about us. And simultaneously, being the version you wish your significant other was for 30 days, that is the best advice I've heard over 20, 30 years of doing this that works. Doesn't mean it's going to work 100% of the time, but a version of that is a great start. Because what happens if you feel like you got a parachute, the resentment is building. Like, I'm trying to do this thing. I don't want to drag you too, right? I get it.
Absolutely, yes. Yes, absolutely.
And then each thing feels like a trigger, right? When you build the resentment, and then it's like, why are you doing that? It's like, right? It's each thing, it gets you. So I'm not trying to go fast to give you an answer, but try that.
Yes, and I come to the realization, and I even discussed this, and I said, I have to be happy with me, with what I'm doing, regardless of impediment. I just have to be me and be happy and follow what I want to do and keep all the doors open on the same time.
Yeah, well, listen, I think you should, and you're brave for doing that, but simultaneously, I would try to have that conversation, and I would try to let the resentment go for 30 days and just be the version you wish he would be and just see what happens. And then let us know in the community. I'd love to get an update, or let my team know how it goes. And Dana, thank you. Please drive safe.
I really love your every Monday morning sessions, and thank you for everything you do for the community and for everybody.
Oh, you're welcome, Dana.
I appreciate it.
Give it up for Dana, everybody.
Thank you.
Well, guys, I hope you had some fun today about relationships. Like I said, hey, Bill, thank you for the 2 thumbs up, man. Again, I don't claim to be a relationship expert. I'm just really good at recognizing patterns of what worked in my life and what didn't. And if you could tell, today was kind of set up to tag team between me and my wife. So I did the best, but to ad lib and fill her spots. Hopefully she's home getting everything all dialed in and getting the water out of our basement. But I really enjoy this. Every month hanging out with you all is a pretty fantastic thing. And listen, we're all a part of the human condition. We're all trying to just be a better version of ourselves today than we were yesterday. We're trying to make connections and grow our businesses and live into our full potential while AI is coming and weird things and separation and news that's insane. So this is a great grounding place to come together, to kind of create a new operating system, right? Sometimes our old operating system is outdated and we just have to find a new one. And that's what we get to do. Every Monday when I go live real quick, every month when we go live in Inner Circle, it's really just to help all of us course correct, get back on the track to try to live into who we were meant to be. I love it so much. This is, I think, 12 or 13 years I've been doing Inner Circle every single month without missing. Okay, in the beginning, I shared with you about the 10-year anniversary of Millionaire Success Habits. And I've been having so much fun with it. So here's what I want to let you guys know. And it might interest you, it might not. But if you do, if you feel like shifting your operating system, shifting the foundation, this book does not teach you how to get rich. If you read this book is about the foundation for success. What I learned by modeling other people, what I learned in my own life. So for about a decade, people have been asking me if I ever considered creating a coaching program around these so you could implement all the habits in life that shift. And that's what we've done. And we made it the most cost-effective training we've ever done because, listen, let's just be honest. This is not a hard sale today. I'm just letting you know because today's the first day we're launching it. I'm not making an offer here today. I'm just letting you know about it. We decided to take this. I sat down with the team. I said, I know I've been busy with life, businesses, Tony partnership, but can we create a live interaction cohort coaching that helps people build the foundation of business, the foundation for relationships, the foundation for success? And can we do it live? Can we do it in a cohort? Can we do it with each other? And can we do it at a price that is exponentially cheaper than anybody's ever done? I mean that was the goal, because here's what I know. So many of you are on the edge of launching your knowledge product, but you're missing some of the foundational stuff. You get tripped up. The old operating system comes back. The old beliefs come back. So finally, with all the changes and AI coming, the world completely changing, we just spent the last 6 months and created amazing cohort-based live coaching around the millionaire success habits in this book. And it's pretty darn amazing. So here's what I'm going to give you. Write down this URL. It is applyformshc.com. If you want to write that down or take a picture. This is live interactive coaching that just works on the foundation. It's not life coaching. Honestly, I mean, it's part of it, but it's the success habits of this book, the foundation that allowed me to be successful. And there's an application, and it's an application because it's a limited group, and we want to make sure you're in with other people in the cohort. We want to make sure it's a win. When I'm not talking about price, I'm not giving you a link to buy. The team is not, it's not a hardcore, if you know our team, it's not a hardcore sales team. It's there just to answer questions. And I'll just say we made it reasonable, we made it amazing, and we made it for those that have been stuck in this middle between wanting and launching. And I just felt it was something we had to do. In reality, great price, foundation for success. And it's what allowed me to live into my full potential. And if it's something that interests you, go to the link. What is it? Applyformshc.com. Fill out the application. You could book a call with someone on our team. You're going to be shocked when you see what we created and what we've done for you. No stress either way. This is not a sales pitch, just knowing that some of you are stuck in that middle, and we wanted to break that up. So thank you for an amazing Inner Circle. Thank you for the beautiful comments. Go out and live into your best self. Stay connected. Communicate. Relationships are important. And if you're in a phase where you're waiting for that next relationship, then work on the one with you so that perfect partner, that perfect other person comes along. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for your beautiful comments. And I'll see you on Monday. Bye, everybody.
but it's getting thicker. Get away from the drinks and chatter. Haven't said a word, but it doesn't matter. Feel the air get thinner. Standing in a blurry dream. No one else can see us. Live your life within the moment, moment. And don't go wait until the morning, morning. You never know when it is over, over. All that I know is we'll get older, older. So let us dance this night away. Feel the air get thinner. I'm standing in a blurry dream. No one else can see us. So let us dance this night away.